This series is written chronologically. If you are new to the series, please start with Season 1, Episode 1. Thank you. The Blood Drawn Chronicles Season 10, Secrets of a Noble Prince, was written by Michael Bradley and produced by Digifox Studios. This season was brought to you, in part, thanks to the generous contributions of our patrons, William Wibbins and Zoe Robinson. Thank you, William and Zoe, for your generous donation. If you'd like to contribute towards our next season titled Season 11, Shards of a Broken Heart, please visit www.patreon.com/TBDC and take advantage of the awesome perks we have available. We would like to take this time to thank Lord Saunders from www.lordsaunders.com for the wonderful audio mastering of the episode you are about to enjoy. As always, thank you for listening. And now our story continues.
Myrick, what are you doing?
She asks, as I inspect one of the tanglewood trees in the forest by scraping its bark. Once fully inspected, I respond, saying, I'm testing a theory.
What theory?
Come closer. Closer still. Here, wrap your arms around this tree.
All right. Now what?
Now pull this tree off the ground.
Done. Now what?
Now, look inside the dirt where the tree was rooted. Tell me, what do you see?
Well, I see nothing. Nothing but dirt.
Are you certain?
Yes, Myrick. There's nothing but softened dirt from where the tree used to be.
Thank you, Alana.
Myrick, what's all this about?
Let me show you. I say as I make my way towards another tree, and like her, I pull the tree from its roots this time. Once the tree is out of the way, I bring her to me and show her what hid beneath the soil. With a look of great disgust, she says,
Ugh, gross! What are those things?
They're called hornworms. They live beneath the soil and the roots of the tanglewood trees.
Why weren't they under the tree I pulled out?
Because you didn't know about them. It's my theory, Alana, and you just help me prove it right. You see, I've studied dendrology quite extensively in my youth. Thus, I know to expect hornworms under every tanglewood tree. They make their homes inside the roots, and in their own way, they nourish the tree. You, on the other hand, had no knowledge of hornworms, and that's why they did not appear in the soil when you uprooted the tree. You're seeing them now because I knew they existed, and now you know they exist. Therefore, the next time you lift a tanglewood tree off the ground, you will find hornworms.
What does it all mean?
Well, it's simple. At the core, a Marediam is nothing more than a physical plane created by the subconscious mind. Yet, it uses the conscious mind to supply its building blocks. Take, for example, the grass. You and I both know what grass looks like, feels like, and our minds can give us some insight as to what it tastes like. But unless we know for sure, you and I will have different experiences of how the grass will taste in our mouths. Go on, grab some grass and put it in your mouth.
I don't think so.
There, you see? That statement alone tells me that if you were to put it in your mouth, it would in fact taste horrid, whereas for me, grass tastes the same as lettuce on earth. So that is the taste my mind will replicate.
I get that what's real in here is only real to us. Why is that such a problem?
The problem, Alana, is identifying whose Marediam this is. You see, if it were just my Marediam, and my Marediam alone, you would have found hornworms once you pulled the tree off the ground. And it would not matter how you viewed the taste of grass, because it
would have tasted like lettuce, regardless of how I felt about it.
Precisely.
How did you know this wasn't...
Simple. The mountains over there to the east were the biggest factor. Tanglewood, for me, only grows in my mother's native land. However, my mother's native lands are also nothing but flat grounds. Thus,
this is not your mother's land.
Right. So then, naturally, I must ask myself, where did those mountains come from? The answer is you. You are the reason those mountains are here. If you weren't here with me, then...
Then you'd be standing on flatlands.
Precisely. So now, I'm left to wonder, why the mountains?
Huh.
Why the mountains, Alana?
I don't know, really.
And I would believe you, but a Marediam creates what we try to hide. I've already confessed what I tried to hide, and I didn't create those mountains, so the question I should be asking is, what are you trying to hide from me, Alana?
Myrick, please, it's not like that.
I note her change in attitude. She is hiding something from me, but I will not pry it out of her. I know how she feels about me, yet part of me can't help myself. If I am to love her as I proclaim, then I must be able to trust her completely, and in turn she must do the same with me, else what we truly feel for each other is just words. No. I know it's more than that, and so I press to prove it by approaching her personal space, putting my hands on her shoulders. I bring her to me and warmly say, Alana, I love you, and it's real. I've never hid anything from you. From the beginning, I've admitted to being a monster. I may not have confessed each monstrous act to you individually, but I never hid the fact of what I was from you. All I ever...
It's the Valpyr, Myrick. When I ran away from home, I ran through a forest like this one, until I fell through a hole somewhere and I found the Valpyr beneath us.
And what of the mountains?
That's where I escaped from. I went on for what seemed like an eternity of twists and turns through deep, dreadful caves until I found the light of an exit. Once I went through the light, I found myself outside on a mountain.
So then, to the mountains we must go.
No, I can't.
Alana, we must.
No, you don't know that.
It is the only way, Alana. Don't you see? Your exit is our exit.
No, Myrick, please don't do this. Please think of another way.
Alana, there is no other way.
You don't know that. What if your theory is wrong? What if we... Oh, no. I barely escaped the first time.
I see her tears form. Thus I place her head on my chest, and I wrap my arms around her tight. Caressing her warmly, I wait for her weeping to simmer before whispering, I wish there was another way. Believe me, I wish there was another way, one which would bring you no sorrow, but that is not how a Marediam designs its exits. The exits in a Marediam are designed for you not to be brave enough to pass through them.
I'm scared, Myrick.
I know.
If we find the exit on the mountain, we'll have to enter the cave. I can't enter that cave again, Myrick. I just can't.
You must.
I won't. I don't care if I have to live here for the rest of my life.
That is precisely why you must. You have to conquer this, just as I had to conquer the truth of my birth.
I'm not like you, Myrick.
Yes, you are. Alana, the truth of my birth was so great that it should have torn me apart. And it would have, if you weren't here with me. If I were alone, I would have never recovered, for there is nothing left of truth in my life except the truth of how I feel for you. That one truth is the thing making me the man I am right now. You will not enter that cave alone. I will be with you. And I swear on your God and all of mine that I will not allow harm to come to you. You know that as well. You have no reason to fear.
You don't know what lies in those caves.
No, but you do. And when you see them, I know you will not fear them.
How do you know?
Because you do not fear me.
I don't understand.
Alana, I am 1,000 times worse than anything you'll find in those caves. And I act as your shield, just like you are my rock. You give me strength unmeasured, so believe me when I tell you, woman, whatever we find inside the mountain, it is you it will have to fear.
We can do this, as long as you don't let go of me.
Never.
Then let's do this, Myrick.
Good. Now, let's find this exit, shall we?
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Don't feel like waiting until next week for the next Blood Drawn episode to release? No problem. You can get access to all the episodes of this season now for just a $5 pledge on Patreon.